What's up, DCS Crew and wet shaving community? Today is a pretty interesting video that I decided to put together for, I guess you can call shave curious people. Whether you're shaving your legs, whether you're shaving your beard, whether you're just looking to ditch cartridge razors and try something different and put a little bit more investment to, your face. These are things that I would actually like to recommend to you, being that I went ahead and I started not too long ago, and I had to stumble into, what is basically the rabbit hole of shaving, which a lot of people talk about because there are so many different options and so many things to spend money on, that I wanted to go ahead and take a moment and talk about, just some items that I have found have really helped me throughout the year, not only with shaving, but with upkeep of my facial hair and things that I find that are of excellent quality from left to right. This company is Zingari Man. This one right here is Noble Otter. This is Southern Witchcrafts. This is Mercure out of Solingen, Germany. This is Sterling Soap Company, and this is the Alexander Simpson Company. That's out of Britain. So we're gonna go ahead and take a moment and go through these, and this would be my recommendation for somebody interested in starting into wet shaving. So stay tuned, and after the intro, we're gonna go ahead and talk a little bit about each of these a bit in more detail. All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Now, just a quick remark. Any of these items that I show here, and let me go ahead and flip this around here. Any of these items that I show here, you should be able to go ahead and obtain with free shipping at the Razor Company. Now, feel free to go ahead and check them out at therazorcompany.com. Anything over $10 that you purchase comes with free shipping, and I know for a fact that the Razor Company has all of these items in their current inventory. While it might be sold out, if you are looking for something, feel free to go ahead and reach out to them, and they would be more than happy to go ahead and order it and put it back into stock so you can go ahead and pick it up for them. So again, if you're living in the US and you're looking to obtain any of these types of items or even a different variant, do know that anything outside of $10, if you spend $10 or more for most items, you get free shipping on them. So just to start, one thing you're going to really need is you're going to need a quality soap, and you're going to need a brush to give you a good lather for that soap, because at the end of the day, what you're doing is you are prepping your shave, and you want to get as good of a prep as possible with good quality items. Now, none of these items in here are the best of the best, bar none, but I can tell you that they are some of the items that I have found work extremely well, and I know that I'm not alone in thinking that. So that being said, we're going to start with a synthetic brush from Alexander Simpson. This is a British-made brush. It is handmade, as you can see right here, and it has synthetic fiber. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is a 26 or 28 millimeter nut, a synthetic badger style nut, which is meant to look like badger hair, but it is indeed synthetic. And I can tell you that I have used this, I have used it, and I have reused it. This thing takes a licking and it keeps on ticking. And that's why I really love synthetic brushes, especially for beginners and just seasoned shavers alike. You can use this as much as you want. You don't have to treat it like it's organic hair, like it's badger or boar, even horse hair brushes, which are, quite more expensive, and they do require a lot more upkeep. With this, you just wash it off when you first get it. Use some antibacterial wash, antibacterial soap, wash it out, make sure it dries overnight, and you're ready to use it the next day. And this sort of thing, I mean, this goes for quite some time, and if you used right, this thing is going to last you forever. So I highly recommend this. And this particular version, this is the T3 variant of the Trafalgar shave brush. They have three versions: the T1, which is slightly smaller, the T2, which is slightly bigger, and then this one, which is the largest in the Trafalgar line. And I mean, excellent synthetic brushes that you can get for not a lot of money that you would have to spend to be able to get something like that. So keep that in mind. Now I'm going to go ahead and put that right here and talk about the soap. Now, you need a good brush, but you definitely need a good soap. Now, one great company that offers, just a huge catalog of soaps that do not break the bank, but it is by no means a cheap kind of quality, is Sterling Soap Company out of Arkansas. Now, excuse me, out of Arizona. Now, the particular scent that I chose here, there are a million scents in their catalog. They even have versions of Old Spice. They have versions of different colognes like Acqua di Parma and Yves Saint Laurent's La Nuit de l'Homme. But this particular one is called Ramblin' Man. Now, Ramblin' Man is one of those soaps that, in my opinion, just smells like soap. It's not unscented. There is a distinct smell to it. It's a relatively small, soft soap, as you saw here. I've gone ahead and I've shown how it's not a hard soap, but it's not a soft soap either. And it's very easy to lather. You just wet the tips on this, get a nice little swirl going, left and right, clockwise and counterclockwise for about 15-20 seconds, and you've got some serious lather for your face. One of the best inexpensive / budget tallow-based soaps that you can buy. This is not a vegan soap, so just keep that in mind. But in any case, you cannot go wrong with Sterling Soap Company, and a nice unobtrusive type of soap with a fresh, soapy, I guess like a bar soap style scent. I guess I could call it something kind of like a Dove bar, or even like an Ivory bar, those soap bars. This would be a great just bar soap type of scent, and that's Ramblin' Man from Sterling Soap Company. Okay, now on to the razor, because you're going to need two things with this. You're going to need a good quality razor, and you're going to need good quality razor blades. Now, I can't tell you which razor blades are going to work great for you, but I can tell you the ones that are working really, really great for me. And that's this pack right here from Gillette, and then this pack from Bic. Now, these are the Bic Chrome Platinums. I actually got to these before, slightly after I was using the Gillette Nassets. Now, Gillette Nassets, they are stainless blades that are made from Gillette, which is the company that does, the cartridge razors, that sort of thing. They are still technically in the wet shaving game with these kind of blades. And this is what I would refer to as a tuck. This is a box, essentially, of razor blades that you can pick up. You open it from here in the back, and they come in packs of 5 and sometimes 10 that you can go ahead and use not only while you are wet shaving, but if you have to go ahead and grab a quick set to be able to go ahead and take with you while you're traveling. Now, you need some good quality blades, so this is an awesome blade that I recommend. These razors, they're fantastic. And whenever I do have, I'm shaving every other day, I will use the Gillette Nassets. But if I let my hair, my facial hair grow a couple of days, or I have a lot that I have to mow down at once, what I am going to use is the Bic Chrome Platinums. Now, these particular ones also come in a set of 5 in this little box, which again, they call a tuck. Okay, and this one was actually recommended to me by a couple of friends that host a show on Instagram called BBS Live. So a huge shout out to Nate and to Melly Mel for that. Fantastic blades. They remind me a lot of the Japanese feather blades from Kai. I really highly recommend you check these out if you're into nice, sharp, but efficient blades from Bic. So those would be my 2 picks for the razor blades. Now, for the razor, I chose the Mercure 34C. Let me go ahead and see if I can get a little bit better look there. Okay, yeah, there we go. So now, the Mercure 34C, they have 2 variants. They have the 34C and the 34G. The G is basically a chrome-plated variant of this particular razor blade. This is the 34C. The 34C is more of I think they call it the HD, which has kind of like a heavier duty handle, but the handle is pretty short. And just to kind of give you a size comparison, right here, I'm going to go ahead and place that, and I'm going to go ahead and place just one of the standard razors that I use. This is the Rockwell 6C. Let me go ahead and see if I can line them up next to each other, so you can go ahead and see how big they are next to each other. Right there, as you can see, there's quite a bit of difference with regards to the length of the handle. This is also a 3-piece razor, meaning it has the head, the base plate, and the handle, whereas this one right here is a 2-piece. It has the head that actually unscrews from the base plate and the handle, which are fused into one, just basically one solid part. And the way that it goes ahead and it screws back in is it has a long post in the middle with 2 on the side. This one actually screws into the base plate and the handle, as you can see. And then those 2 side posts basically lock the blade in so that you can go ahead and begin shaving once you have the head screwed into the base plate here. Okay, now I chose this one particularly because number one, it's extremely efficient. It's a mild razor, meaning it has very little blade gap, but it has quite a bit of healthy blade exposure. It doesn't have a whole lot per se, but it has enough to where you can actually work with this to make it a little bit more of an aggressive razor. I'll get to that in a second though. Another reason why I like this is because it's because of the size, it makes it very handy for traveling purposes. And one of the things I picked up for travel is this Mercure, basically is a travel caddy for the razor. Go ahead and place it in there without any razor blades, and it allows you to be able to go ahead and place a box or a tuck of blades on both sides. Locks in place. And it's ready to go, throw into your DOP kit, your toiletry kit, and, take with you whenever you're gonna go away and are looking to wet shave. I do have to do a traveling video, and I am gonna go ahead and talk about what I use when I travel. Maybe I'll go ahead and use this, but now, the 34C is extremely, I don't know how to explain this, but once I started to wet shave for a little bit, I realized how much of a quality razor and the reason why everybody recommended this particular razor, and I'll show you why. Number one, once you're using razors like, this one right here, which is the Rockwell 6C. The Rockwell 6C comes with a bunch of different base plates depending on how mild or how aggressive of a shave that you want. Now, before you guys freak out, I have cut the sides, the blades off of these 2 razors that are here, so I'm not gonna cut myself, okay? Now, this is a very mild razor out of the box. But like I said, while it doesn't have a lot of blade gap, it does have a lot of blade exposure. And when I refer to blade exposure, what I mean is the amount of blade that once the posts are in and it's held in place, how much of it is actually exposed out through here, so that the space between, basically how aligned it is between the top cap and see if I can show that there. There we go. The top cap and the base plate. So it extends quite a bit, so that there's a nice little line that meets between the base plate and the blade itself. But there isn't a lot of blade gap, as you can see. But what I have learned is that if you take these blades that I have gone ahead and I've removed the actual edges on, okay, I've created what's called a shim. Now, shims are great because if you take a standard razor blade and you put it onto the head here, you can take a shim, put it right under, and then it increases the blade gap. And you can actually put more than one. In this case, for this particular razor, I typically use 2, okay? And what you do is you place the handle back on there. Once the blade and the 2 shims are on, you go ahead and you screw it back in. And now you have a razor that has the post here, so it has both of the shims in as well as the blade, and it has a little bit more aggressive of a blade gap. It has a wider blade gap, but it still has that same razor exposure, that blade exposure, which is going to yield a much more efficient or dare I say aggressive shave. So it's not so much more aggressive. I mean, I recommend that if you're looking for something a little bit less mild than the 34C and you have one, try it out with 1 shim. If it's not good for you, try it with 2. I typically use 2 and it gives me a comfortable shave. You can try it with 3. I mean, I know people who have used 4, but that's pushing it a little bit. But I would say 2 is a nice number for me. If you want to go ahead and try it, I definitely recommend that. So that's something that I really like about this razor. Unlike the 6C, which comes with different base plates, that you're only going to get one chance at how efficient this particular razor is. So being able to shim it makes it very unique in comparison to other razors. And the fact is, it is very easy to go ahead and place the blade, put this on, screw it in, and get to shaving. You don't have to take it apart like this one where you actually, have to remove the handle. Then you go ahead and remove the base plate, remove the blade, put the new blade in, put the base plate back on, screw the handle in. As you can see, it's taking quite a bit longer. And then you get started with the shave, okay? So that's my take on the Mercure 34C. And that's the reason why I actually chose it for this particular video on what my recommendations are for somebody that's looking to get into wet shaving. It's a great beginner's razor blade that, razor blade that allows you to be able to go ahead and get a quality shave, whether you're looking for something milder or something a little bit more advanced and aggressively efficient, let's say. Now, once you're done with the shave and you're going into the post-shave, this is when you get into a couple of different things. Some people skip it altogether and they just kind of wash their face and get along, with their day. But when you have, a blade that's been basically, scraping against your face, removing all that facial hair, sometimes depending on how aggressive your shave is, your skin is going to feel a little bit inflamed. You might see some redness. You might need some, some moisture. It might feel dry. And this is when the aftershave products come into play. Now, typically what you'll have is a toner. You'll have some type of an aftershave splash, whether it's with or without alcohol. And then you'll have a balm, which is more like a lotion that you'll use on your face once everything is done to kind of like put those nutrients back into your skin, make it nice and soft. Now, I really highly recommend you shaving right after a shower so that your skin is hydrated and it allows you to be able to not only get a good shave, but allows you to kind of soak this stuff in once you're done. That's just me, okay? Now, we'll start with the aftershave toner. This is an aftershave toner that is from a company out of Tucker, Georgia, that can be used not only as a toner, but as an aftershave splash that is non-alcoholic because of the way that it's made. Now, this is an artisan aftershave toner, and it is from Southern Witchcrafts. And this is incorporeal, meaning that this is the unscented version. Okay, it does come with a few really, really good items to allow you to be able to go ahead and use for your post shave. Let's see if I can go ahead and post this a little bit. There you go. It's a little bit easier to read. You have witch hazel, water, aloe gel, polysorbate 20, glycerin, and vitamin E. Shake well before use, and you're good to go. Okay, so that is incorporeal. This is an aftershave toner that you can go ahead and splash onto your face, let it sit for about a minute or two, and then you can go into your aftershave splash. Now, some people do not like using aftershave splashes that have alcohol in it. And I'm okay. I'm okay with that, and I understand that argument because the truth is, I used to be a part of that crowd, and it wasn't until I started using some really quality aftershaves with what is commonly referred to now as skin food that I started using aftershaves with alcohol in it. Because at the end of the day, like Heather from Zingari Man actually said, alcohol should be dry. You should be drinking your alcohol. You shouldn't be splashing it onto your face. So a lot of people remember that scene from Home Alone where, Kevin McAllister, uses his, the aftershave splash. He puts it on his face and you see him screaming and yelling. If you do that the wrong way, you're probably going to end up doing that because it's a pretty crazy feeling. It is going to hurt and it is going to sting. But companies like Noble Otter and even Sterling, and some others that aren't even included in this video have what's called an aftershave splash, which is more along the lines of skin food. They'll use things like glycerin, they'll use things like vitamin E, they'll use things like witch hazel, and they'll add it with, in this particular case, like perfumer's alcohol or even denatured alcohol in here with like aloe leaf juice and that sort of thing to kind of not only, freshen up your skin, but to take care of, maybe just little abrasions on your skin, little cuts, that sort of thing, make it, sterilize them, get them nice and ready to begin healing, and then put those vitamins and those nutrients back into your skin post shave after you've basically been rubbing a blade, up and down and left and right and all around on your skin to try to take off that stubble. So huge shout out to Noble Otter. They are out of Texas, if I'm not mistaken. It's Houston, Texas. This particular scent. Actually, it goes really well in color-wise with Ramblin' Man, but the scent is actually slightly different. It's extremely inviting though, and I highly recommend you try this one out. This is called RAR. They make a soap and a splash. Be sure to go ahead and check that out from Noble Otter Soap Company out of Houston, Texas. I will be posting links to all of these things at the end of this particular video. So now, at the very, very end, if you choose not to end it at the alcohol splash, which you totally can depending on the company that you use the aftershave splash with, because of the fact that they use a lot of skin foods and a lot of things that are going to help hydrate your skin, I highly recommend using an aftershave balm. Now, this particular one is one that is highly recommended by, not only for beginners, but for, long-standing shavers, in in the scene, I guess you can say. And this is the Sago Aftershave Balm. It's unscented from Zingari Man. Now, Heather from Zingari Man has an excellent line of shave products. She does not use alcohol in any of her aftershave products, but she has what's called a recovery splash, which actually kind of acts a bit like a toner and an aftershave splash without alcohol in one. She does have a soap. She's famous for not only having vegan soaps, but now shave soaps with tallow, which she calls her Sago base. And she has applied that same Sago style base to her aftershave balm. This particular one is unscented, so it plays well with others, no matter which brand that you use or which scent. If you feel like you want to go ahead and have a nice long-lasting scent from your aftershave, this is something that I highly recommend because it goes on and it's not an oily shave balm. You just put 2 little pumps, rub it onto your hands, put it onto your skin very lightly. You're still going to get that scent from your aftershave splash, and you're going to feel like $1,000,000 with this stuff on. Now, I don't recommend using a lot of this stuff during the hotter times of the year, obviously because of, humidity, that sort of thing. It's very easy for something like this to start coming out of your skin when it's hot. But in the winter time and in the fall time, in a lot of places where it's cool, this stuff will save your face from getting stuff like, freeze burn, from, having a really dry face, and I can't tell you how much this has improved my post-shave experience ever since I started using an aftershave balm. I use different ones, but this is one of the first ones that I picked up, and it's really hard to be able to go ahead and top this, in all honesty. So that's the Zingari Man aftershave balm. This is the Sago unscented version. This gives you about 4 ounces. Heather from Zingari Man is a skin genius, I guess you can say. And if you ever have any questions, she'd be more than happy to help you. So that being said, this is everything that I did want to go ahead and show you. Let me go ahead and see if I can go ahead and put these down here so you can see each one and line them up here. And while I'm doing that, I do want to tell you that for any of these items that you're looking to get, there are a bunch of places you can go ahead and pick these up from. But if you plan to buy, a few things and you're going to spend more than $10, do yourself a favor. Don't pay shipping. You can go ahead and pick it up here at the Razor Company, and pretty much any items, most items over $10 will ship for free from them. Depending on how much you end up spending is whether it'll end up going priority or not. And any of these items you can pick up from the Razor Company. Now, some may be out of stock right now. Go ahead and reach out to them via the contact page if you're interested in any of these in particular, and they'll make sure they'll try to go ahead and put these back into stock. They are authorized distributors for all of these items, as well as a bunch of other ones, including companies like, Heritage Hill Shave Company, which you may or may not have seen earlier, which is a great shave soap, and Rockwell razors out of the US. This is the Rockwell 6C that I showed you earlier, but they do make a stainless version called the 6S. So that being said, if you have any questions with regards to the shave brush, the soap, the razor and the blades, the aftershave toner, the aftershave splash, and the balm, let me know. This is the order that I go through when I am shaving. So I'm going to go ahead and lather up the soap with my brush, use my razor with the blade already loaded in. After it's done, I wash it off. I use a toner and then let that kind of dry off a little bit, go into the aftershave splash, which has a little bit of a sting due to the alcohol, but it also has that aftershave skin food that I highly recommend. Has a little bit more of a scent to it and goes into the aftershave balm if I feel I need just that little extra nutrients into my skin. Nice kind of lotiony feeling without being oily on my skin. This is some great stuff. 2 small pumps, boom, boom, or even 1 if you want to get started. Put it on your skin and you are good to go to conquer the day. So thank you so much for watching, guys. And just remember, whether you use any of these or even a variant, think of the things that you would want to go ahead and put on your face. This isn't the end all be all of what I recommend. In my shave videos, I use different items, but if you are looking to get started, these are things that I recommend that are not going to break the bank, but are going to give you some of the highest quality possible shaves. And these are things that I will be using, slowly in videos moving forward. So if you have any questions, feel free to go ahead and reach out to me. I can be reached on Instagram at Daily Carry Solutions, or feel free to comment below with any questions you may have, or contact me via email at dailycarrysolutions@gmail.com. Now, today's carry, just in case you guys have been wondering, because I know you guys are like, okay, this is a knife channel, what are you carrying? I happen to go old school today. This is a non-locking blade from Spyderco. This is the Spyderco UK pen knife right here, and this is in their Super Steel S110V with a deep carry pocket clip. It is a lockless Spyderco pocket knife. And just remember, guys, whether you shave and use a straight razor or a DE, or you try to go ahead and shave with one of these, just remember, if you EDC, think of DCS. You guys have been great. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.